What's going on, everyone? It's the new wave of sports that is sweeping the nation, where we're not just accurate but spot on. This is the SOS highlight, and I am here with an incredible woman for Women's Month. And I thought it's no better way for me to end this month. Of course, I've been trying to give you guys an interview every month with incredible people to highlight. And of course, I'm here highlighting the assistant coach of Side Creek, Ms. Shaquita Arnick. Hello, how are you, my friend?
I am good. How are you?
All has been well. All has been well. And a basketball savant we have here, everyone. And an old friend, much like we had the coach of Cedar Hill, the linebackers coach Courtney Arnick on a couple months ago. Her cousin, in the bloodline, the pedigree in the Arnick family runs deep. You guys can't seem to stay away from championships. So I'm going to go ahead and open the floor on that one. You appeared in your championship game, Side Creek against DeSoto. Albeit you fell short, you got there. You were at a pivotal point in getting those girls, those ladies, prepared for such an important game and an undefeated record to be that. Tell me, what was it? What was the year like, especially coming in such a time that is COVID?
Right. Well, last year we lost in the state championship game against Duncanville, and that was like extremely devastating. And then right after that, COVID hit, so everything was shut down. It was very hard because during the summer we were very limited with workouts, and then going into spring we had to follow all these different protocols in regards to even trying to have a season, because we, for a long period of time, we didn't know if that was going to even be possible. So it was definitely different, and trying to prepare our kids to get back to state again and win it all. And by the grace of God, we was able to complete a full season. Obviously, we ended up losing in the championship game to the great DeSoto team. I mean, they were phenomenal. But to make it that far and really to get back to our goal, we wanted to get back to the state championship game and see where the cards lay. And unfortunately, we weren't able to pump our ultimate goal, but it still doesn't take away of what we were able to accomplish this year, despite COVID and all the obstacles we faced.
But I think it's a lot that goes into having to get a team together with COVID. I mean, the regimen, the workouts, and everything that go into it. The usual regulations we're always used to seeing. You no longer have the ability to follow those things. What did y'all do as coaches to different, just as far as getting these girls prepared? What was the message? What changes did y'all have to make to say we still have to build a team that's going to be championship ready?
Right. I think the main thing that me and my head coach did was we consistently, every day checked up on our kids. We tried to make sure that mentally they were prepared and strong enough to be able to handle everything that was about to be thrown at them. Because like I said, it's different times. So we stayed in touch with them. We checked on them daily. And then when it actually came to them actually coming on campus, we was real straight on about following guidelines and these, because sometimes when you get so caught up in basketball, you tend to forget that, hey, you got a pre-screen every day, and you got to make sure that you will bring your mask and bring a towel and don't share a water bottle. So we just constantly stayed on trying to do the right thing at all times. And I think that kind of helped our kids, as well as trying to maintain and keep that, like I said, the ultimate goal in mind was trying to win a state championship. But more so, we just want to make sure that they were okay. Just randomly ask them how you feeling today, and tell them, hey, if you don't feel well, don't come. And that's as a coach, you as a former player, coaches want you at practice every single day.
Coaches want you at practice.
Yes, every single day. But I mean, obviously we're in different times, and we have to kind of be a little lenient with that. But our kids, I mean, they did a great job. It was no excuses. They wanted it. They wanted it bad. And so luckily we didn't have to quarantine as a whole program or a team. I did, unfortunately. But I mean, overall, they was just locked in. They was just locked in. So it kind of made it easier for us to, do what we do as coaches.
So I gotta mess with you, Coach. Do they know that they coach can ball?
They know. They know. They definitely know. Every day we go to gym, I always pick up a ball and shoot. Always, always, always. And I just like while they stretching, I'll be on the go shooting around. So they definitely know. They ain't sleep on that part.
I just had to make sure they had to know. They had to know who Shay was, and not that you're not in your heyday, but they still need to know that it's that you can pick up a ball at any day and serve them up if need be. So,
absolutely.
but I gotta talk. It's 5 years in the coaching, right? What is this journey been like? Multiple championship appearances. Like, just tell me how has it been from starting, and what it has been like to get to this point today.
Ooh, honestly, it's been a complete blessing. When I first came in, I was 22, 23, 22.
So young,
So young, straight out of college, and just transforming my mind from a basketball player to a coach. It was different, and I was blessed to be brought on at John Tyler by Carlisa Dixon, and she winged me and mentored me and taught me so much about the game. That when I was at Side Creek, I knew so much more than what I thought I would be. I felt like I was ahead a little bit because of her. And then when I got to Side Creek, my head coach Jennifer Alexander, I can't speak enough good stuff about her and how she continues to this day to really shape me and prepare me to be a head coach one day. And so the journey has been honestly amazing, and I can't wait for me to get myself out there and really see what I can do whenever that time comes.
Respectively so, and I know just as talented as you were on the coach, you're definitely showing that. I mean, and the court, excuse me, you're definitely showing that as a coach. Why coaching? What made you want to get into coaching? I mean, we all think being an athlete, we think athlete is forever, but and we know that there comes a time where you really need that plan B. Was coaching always in the cards for you, or is this just something that kind of came up and there was an opportunity?
Right. Well, initially when I went to college, wanted to be a social worker. I did. I wanted to find a way to help kids that were in unfortunate situations and put them in better situations so they have a great opportunity to grow up and make something of themselves. And honestly, it took my aunt Rhonda Arnick. She was like, "You should get into coaching and teaching. You can still have that same impact on kids that you want to do in social work." And so we talked a long time about it, and I finally got into it. And then I coached AAU with my uncle, and he winged me along and he was showing me the ropes of it, and I fell in love with it just coaching AAU. And that honestly jump started my career because once Carlisa Dixon saw me coach at AAU, she asked me to come down to John Tyler, and then the rest is history. So I've always had like a knack for trying to, help the youth and give them, tips and inspiration to be a better version of themselves. And since I couldn't be a social worker, I thought, well, the way it's so crazy that even correlates. But just, trying to find a way to still impact the kids and get them to understand that they have a bright future ahead. They just, need the right guidance and right people around them.
Of course, wonderful. Coach, I want to touch on something that's a bit more sensitive. Obviously, with this month has been the start of March Madness, and we were made privy to some things that may have also been obvious for some time, and even with you being a female athlete, of the NCAA's treatment for the women's side of basketball, and just the shortage of resources and opportunity that's there for them to get the same limelight as the men's side has done. Because we all wake up and it's March Madness and we think men's, and there's not that attention to the women. And even on social media, we saw one of the young ladies posting the weight room, and it's just chairs and just a little rack with dumbbells there. What is your thoughts just on this whole thing, and what do you think could possibly be done? And we're just shooting at the fence here for women to be women athletes to be recognized, even in basketball, the same way as men.
Right. Well, first off, I think that it's unacceptable and there's no excuse for it. I mean, they can say, put it out on whoever and point fingers, NCAA president, say whatever. It's honestly no excuse for the different type of treatment that are shown towards men and women. Women bring in just as much excitement to me as the men does. I mean, we coaching on the girls' side for 5 years now. They are exciting to watch. They work just as hard as men do. I mean, sometimes women work even harder.
I
And
agree. I
so,
agree.
yeah, I mean, it's unacceptable. No excuses. I mean, they just have to be better. They have to do better. Because these kids, these young ladies, these women sacrifice their time, their body every single day, just like the men do. And so that treatment, uh, like I said, it just has to be better. I think continually to put the women's sports out there, broadcast them more on national television, to get people to watch. Because a lot of people just simply don't watch the women's sports, and that's unfortunate because it's some great basketball being played right now. Like as of right now, two of the top freshmen in the country, and Paige Beckers and Taylor from Iowa, are playing right now.
Okay.
Everybody should be watching it, but
Right.
obviously,
Yeah.
some people might not. But as you can see, I am. you know,
We love it, coach. We love it. We
Yes,
love it.
absolutely. So I just think that moving forward, NCAA just has to do better. This is something that cannot happen again. But it also shows the gap and the bridge
Yes.
in
Yes. Yes.
in
And it's so unfortunate, for a gap like that to be that obvious. Tell me, with the girls, is it do they take heed to these things? Do they see these things? And is this a conversation that happens when they're in the locker room or on the court, or they're coming to y'all, the coaches, with questions just on the mistreatment as far as just with the NCAA and women's basketball, or what their future means in basketball when it comes to revenue and being able to just earn their keep in this field? Like, do those conversations happen?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. It's something that I mean they definitely see it. I mean, like I said, like just by TikTok, or I'm not sure,
Yeah.
Instagram post. I mean, how it blew up so quick. I mean, yeah, they definitely see it, and honestly, it just makes you think, like, man, like for some athletes, like, what are we doing? Like, why are we trying to, basically put NCAA women's sports out there when y'all not giving us the same treatment, the hard work that we give y'all? I mean, we're putting every our bodies, our sacrifice to grow the brand of college basketball. But what are y'all giving us in return?
Right. Right.
So, absolutely, they see it, and they have. We as women have every single right to feel the way we feel. I mean, nobody should negate that, say that, oh well, it's just because it's women. No, there's no excuse. I mean, none whatsoever. Women's sports is just as exciting, and they work just as hard as the men's do, and it should be shown every single day. Not just during the NCAA tournament, the regular season, preseason, it should be shown every single day.
Agreed. Agreed. So not to too much touch on that topic, because again, that's super sensitive. But coach, I'm glad that you are taking the necessary steps to get the girls mentally prepared for what they're going to be facing, and especially what's going to be ahead in their career. I want to talk more about you as a coach, and just your routine to get yourself ready to coach these young ladies on game days. What is that regimen for you?
Uh, I think the kids will tell you a lot. I watch a lot of film. I'm personally myself. I am big on it.
Film junkie, we love it.
Yes. Oh man, I break it down to the T, and I try to find different ways to prepare our kids as much as possible. Because to be honest, our kids have very high basketball IQ, and so the more you teach them and show them certain things, they grasp onto it and they prepare mentally before they even get on the court. So when they do get on the court, it's easy. And so, for me, it's just watching a lot of film, seeing any last minute things that pop up or that we may not have catch in the previous. Every day before I drive to work, I play the same songs. Um, I mean, and then the whole day just locking in,
Yeah.
talking to the coach, seeing his hours, asking, is there anything else? And she's like, nope, let's just play. And so just mentally trying to, the same way as if I was a player, just mentally
Right,
trying to get
right.
myself prepared to, be ready for anything that could possibly happen during the game.
Well, obviously, even as athletes, as coaches in any walks of life in which we work, there is something that we all need to work on. Do you, as a coach, identify those things, saying, me as a coach, there's some things that I still need to get better at for these girls?
Oh, absolutely. I've always been told that if you feel like you can't grow if you're not trying to learn the game every single year, no matter how long you've been coaching, then you're really not trying to be a great coach. And so there's definitely a couple things that I know for a fact that I have to improve and get better on. Ever since I started coaching, my dad, he has me summarize the season of how I went, what I did great, and what I didn't do well. And so I go back and I look at that and make sure that I am improving each year.
Right.
And so there's definitely things that I can get better at, but also I'll pat myself on the back a little bit and say that I think that I have grown so much. Yeah,
Yes.
it's exciting to see your own personal growth.
Definitely, definitely. Just a couple more questions to close out, Coach. As far as just the nuances that in the game of basketball that's grown so much, I'm talking about from the the rising of the three point shooting. When it comes to the girls, and I think it plays both ways with guys and girls. When they see the game, they see a lot of these shots from Steph and Damian and just the tricks and everything that just kind of goes into this modern day basketball. What are your thoughts on the girls, like when they watch and they pick these things up and they try to emulate them on the court? Because I know y'all can kind of be wishy-washy saying, hey, don't try this just because you see this person doing that. Like, what is it maintaining or maintaining their passion to try to pick up the same things that they're seeing on TV and like doing them, but saying, hey, there's levels to this type of thing.
Right. And it's so funny that you said that because there's some stuff that I watch on the NBA that I do not agree with. I'd be like,
you see, yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah. It's something I'm like, that's just not smart. It's not smart basketball play. But I can say, we have two players on our team, Rory Harmon and Kendall Hunter. And if you have played against us, you know that they can pull up from anywhere. And when I say they knock it down with confidence, I mean just straight knockdown shot. I mean,
right.
It's money, and you have to respect it. I mean, you have to respect it. But when you know and you understand that they put in the time and the work to be able to, and the confidence to be able to take and make those shots, as a coach, you sit back and you be like, it's not a bad shot. That's not a bad shot. But I think that it comes timing. I think that timing comes within the game when to take those shots and when not to take those shots. And I think those two are great at it. They're not going to be trying to pull from 30 and they have 3 people on them or 2 people on them. It's a timing thing. And so I think that within the game in itself, if you're able, you put in the work and the time to make those shots, then obviously, hey, hey, go for it. We know that you're able to make it consistently, but if it's something like a bad shot and it's not within your game and it's not something that you work on and put in the time with, then don't do it.
Right. No, I'm sure you want to emphasize smart basketball, but
exactly.
there is a time and place to take the shots and do the things on the court that you can do, and it's just it's just a timing thing, as you said. Last question, Coach. The Arnick family. Like I said, having Courtney on earlier this year, and he being the linebackers coach at City Hill and leading that defense and those guys going into the championship. And then you were doing the same thing. How proud of you and Courtney vice versa of what you two have accomplished and just the Arnick family as a whole. Like I said, I've had the pleasure of knowing y'all for some time, so I know of the pedigree that exists in that family. Just how proud of you of just what y'all have just accomplished.
I mean, I really can't put into words. If you know anything about me and Courtney, we are cousins, but that really is like my little brother. And so to see him in his first year play a role in, Cedar Hills championship appearance, it was amazing. I was sitting in them stands cheering for him, rooting him on, and the love that was shown when I had my opportunity to, go compete for a state championship, or coach rather for a state championship, and the love that was given back. I mean, we couldn't be more proud. And we always say, hey, we talked about it. Hey, we fell short, but we'll be back. I tell him, you'll be back, and he said, I know, and you'll be back. So, I mean, we are very proud of each other, very, very proud, and it just goes to show that we both, have bright coaching futures ahead of us, and I just can't wait because I know that Cedar Hill, they'll be back, and with us in South Creek, we stirring up some stuff as well. So I'm just Very proud of him. Very proud.
Yeah.
Love you, brother.
But I'm very, and I'll make sure we clip this part just so Courtney can see it. And I'm very proud to say I was able to sit here with Coach
Yes,
Arnick
absolutely.
after all of these years from us being at Carter High School, and obviously we can sit here and say that school has produced greatness, of big and small, and me and you can attest to that today. It's been a wonderful interview, Coach. I definitely appreciate you taking out the time to stick with me today. I wish you the best of luck with Side Creek, that y'all will be back in another championship, and y'all will win that championship, and you will get your due desserts. Definitely, Coach, and I can't, I just can't say more about you being an incredible woman, especially during this month when there's just so much going on, especially for women and this COVID stuff, and you're pushing your coaching limitations for the betterment of your team and those girls alike. So definitely happy to have you here today. It is the new wave of sports that is sweeping the nation, where we're not just accurate, but we are spot on. Be sure to comment, rate, subscribe, drop us a like. We would definitely appreciate it. Check us out on our social sites, our YouTube page. Coach, can you tell everybody where to find you?
Yes, I am on Facebook at Shay Arnick. I am on Twitter at Coach_Arnick. Find me on there.
It is the SOS Spotlight. I'll be back soon with another interview. Shay, Tony, we checking out. Peace out.